anything to do with energy transition, the country that has taken the lead far beyond any of our imagination is China.
Yeah.
And if we think as a country that we can do without bringing in technology from China, it is possible. No one is saying it is not possible. But for a developing country like India, it will be very expensive. So hence, it is very important to recognize which country has strengths, and it is important to bring that technology for the benefit of our country. So that is our fundamental belief. Now, our government has shown that you have to put India first. Whether it is buying oil from Russia and going for Howdy Modi, we have shown that we are friends across the aisle. And we will do what is in the interest of our country. Similarly, for industry, it is the same thing. Today, JSW Steel on one hand is saying China is dumping steel into India.
Yeah.
So we need to safeguard Indian industry from China's dumping. And on the other hand, JSW Energy is bringing in solar panels from China and has done a joint venture with MG Motors for cars.
Yeah.
So there's a clear dichotomy that one place you're saying no China, on the other place you're tying up with China.
Yeah.
But at the core of both of this, we are saying that we are keeping India first. Why we are saying don't allow dumping to happen of steel or any other metal into India is because it will cause harm to the Indian industry. And if it causes harm to the Indian industry, not Vedanta, not JSW, not Tata, nobody will invest in making new steel plants, new aluminium refineries, new anything in India. And that will create no new jobs in our country. And that will result in huge economic slowdown for our country. On the other hand, why we are bringing technology from China, whether it is for new energy vehicles, whether it is for wind, solar, pump storage, etc., is because that will give the cheapest electricity and cheapest cars to the Indian consumer. So that's how we are thinking of it. Government also asks us, on one hand you make strong statements, on the other hand you tie up with them. What are you doing? We've given them this logic and they're saying, okay, it makes sense. And I hope now with the border issues between India and China getting softening and bilateral ties improving, this will enhance the ties between the two countries. But at the same stage, we need to realize that we are in a sweet spot as a country. $4 trillion economy will become a $10 trillion economy. Nothing can stop it. And if we don't protect our own country, and if we don't protect our domestic market, and we allow foreigners to come into our country by dumping, it was going to harm the overall landscape for the country. And I'll just give one example. Japan and Korea, right? They have a free trade agreement with India. Please just check how much steel has gone from India to Japan and Korea. Even though there's a free trade agreement, they have an unwritten rule in their country that you cannot buy a single piece of commodity, not a single ton of commodity from India. And not one ton in the last how many ever years we've had the FTA has gone from India to that country, even though we've tried. We've said any price, just take it. But they don't do. So they have a national project. Here many times we are all competing so hard with each other, we lose ground of the national project. And I think that there's been a big change with this current government over the last 11 years, where the country is coming first. And we are trying to navigate it that way. I think that as a country and as a economy, our spend on R&D is very low. And in general, Indian companies are buyers of technology. We don't create our own technology, we buy technology. We look at the best German technology, best Japanese technology, best Chinese technology, and we bring it into our country. Very little R&D is actually happening in India. And even if you go and meet with the top professors of IITs and all our institutions, they struggle to get funding. And the culture of giving is just started in India. And we as industry, we as individuals need to give a lot more back to our institutions. We see large families in India giving to foreign institutions, but we don't see large gifts being given to Indian institutions.
Exactly.
And I think that culture is changing. Now people are coming, you have various examples. But again, they want to build their own.
Yeah.
We say we'll build our own university. Why can't so? But what we actually need to do is support institutions. Second is, I think academia and corporates need to work much closer together, and that's something that I've seen a lot when I was studying abroad. And it's very organized, and the institutions come with very organized pitches that, hey, we can do this for JSW Steel, hey, we can do that for JSW Energy. The Indian institutions are not doing that as of now.